Bernie Parent's great goaltending electrified Philadelphia fans in the 1970s. Recently, Bobby Orr took Bernie sailing off the coast of Jamaica. Bobby Orr and the Hockey Legends is brought to you by the legend of quality and freshness, Planters Nuts. Tonight, the legend of Bernie Parent.
Planters nuts are crunchy, delicious, tasty, munchy. Every day they're roasted, crunchy, golden, toasted. Planters nuts, they taste fine, absolutely divine. For the very best nut, look for the well-dressed nut. Planters, a real class act.
You were a great practice player, first on the ice, last off. You think that dedication is missing in the game today?
Well, that might be, Bob, because it seems like we might be lacking of discipline at times. And I think this it's very important as a goalie. You play the way you practice. This is where you evaluate or you could judge the mistakes you make during the game and try to improve yourself.
1965, Niagara Falls Flyers, quite a series.
Oh boy, you're 19 years old and it was fantastic. And we played the finals in Edmonton and we won that year. We won the Memorial Cup and boy, we had a great team that year. Bill Goldsworthy, Ron Schock, Sanderson, guys that made the NHL.
65, you turned pro with the Boston Bruins. How did you handle that transition?
Boy, then again, it was a big challenge, Bob. I was 20 years old and playing against hockey players that were a lot older than me, and the transition, I just couldn't make the adjustment. You can't buy experience. You have to earn it, and boy, it was difficult 2 years up there.
In 1967, Parent was selected in the expansion draft by the Philadelphia Flyers, where he played until the 1971 trade, which saw him united with his idol, Jacques Plante, in Toronto. Under Plante's watchful eye, Bernie perfected his craft and began to gain the experience that would carry him to greatness.
1973, you returned to the Philadelphia Flyers after a year in the WHA and a new spirit in Philadelphia.
When I came back to the Flyers, they had in the papers, big headlines. Parent is back in town and he should help the team win. Everything was great. Then the first exhibition game we played was against the New York Rangers. And I stepped on the ice. Big standing ovation, and boy, everything was going super. Until 12 minutes into a first period, New York had scored 7 goals against me, and it was just a disaster.
Bernie, your 2 Stanley Cups were great team efforts, but in those same 2 years, you won 2 Vezina trophies and 2 consecutive Conn Smythe trophies.
You can't do this on your own. You need a good team, and that year, I think really the big secret that year was Fred Sherrill, behind the bench,
right,
and he made the difference, I think.
Parent also made a difference in the 1974 series. He carried a Vezina trophy and a seasonal goals against average of 1.89 into the playoffs and sparkled in net as the Flyers won the first of 2 consecutive Stanley Cups. The following year, his average was 2.03, good for a second Vezina trophy. And he again provided championship goaltending as he fashioned a record 5 playoff shutouts and was involved in the infamous fog game against the Buffalo Sabres.
And even today, I'm surprised, that nobody took any long shots.
Tell us about your accident that halted your career.
Well, it was a game on a Saturday afternoon, and one stick hit me in the eye. I was blind for 2 weeks. The doctors didn't know if I was going to get my vision back. Because of good treatments, good doctors, then I finally got my vision back.
The Flyers have a new program designed to help players prepare for retirement. And I know you play a big part in that program.
When the doctors told me 3 years ago that my career was over, the next day I was facing a future, with really nothing in front of me, and it was really scary. So what we're trying to do now is to prevent this. We're trying to make the kids realize that they have to be prepared for a second career. Take an aptitude test and find out their strengths or weaknesses. And then, they could go on during the summers and take courses. So once their hockey career is over, they could just move right into a new career.
Bernie Parent is the only player in playoff history to win back-to-back Conn Smythe trophies. A remarkable hockey legend.
It's my pleasure to announce our selection of Canada's all-peanut team. For crunch, Mr. Peanut from Planters. For freshness, Mr. Peanut from Planters. For variety, Mr. Peanut from Planters. Taste, Mr. Peanut from Planters. And for pure entertainment, Eddie Shack.
Planters, Canada's all-peanut team.
Hey, didn't I play with you guys in L.A.? I thought so.
Bobby Orr and the Hockey Legends has been brought to you by the legend of quality and freshness, Planters Nuts.
The great goaltending of years gone by from Bernie Parent. Great goaltending here tonight. Tony Esposito against the Canucks' Richard Brodeur. Coming out next on our Hockey Legends, Sweet Lou from the Sioux, Lou Nanne of the Minnesota North Stars. We'll return with the Stanley Cup playoffs in just a moment.